Actually, believe it or not, I didn't think this was possible given the shirt I have on, but you've out t-shirted me here.
Oh, I have?
Oh yeah, you have. Motorhead's always going to win that battle.
Yeah, you're right about that. Motorhead does win
Uh,
always.
Dude, it is great to see ya. It's been several months, a lot been going on. What's the last, few months been like for you? You've released a new single, the album's doing really well, but for you guys, it's about kind of a return to a live setting, which is coming up as well. How exciting is that, man?
Man, it's everything. It's everything. It's like we live two lives. One is the creative, writing studio life, and the other is the performing. And, both are essential. And I speak for certainly the guys in my band. I have so many friends in this town in Nashville that are also artists and musicians. So there's no question, man, that it just feels fucking awesome to
I love that.
to feel some productivity, some normalcy, some interaction, just getting to be in the same room with other people. It just can't be overstated how important that is just to your well-being, your state of mind. It's been an incredible year, man. I think it's going to be some time before people start reflecting truly, like, what was that year really like? Because right now, man, I don't even want to fucking think about it. It's like, screw 2020. Just, it was what it was. And, I'm just grateful that, obviously, man, thanks to the rollout, the vaccines have changed everything, especially for the music business. It's what's given us even a chance to get back out there and do what we do. So really stoked, man. Grateful, excited, ready.
I know you have some dates on the books here already for the summer, but you guys are going to be going out and doing some dates with Buckcherry, quite a few here in the fall and winter. How cool is that, man? I feel like that Damon Jonson and the Get Ready, you guys have really started establishing yourselves as this live entity. And I think that really comes from how well the album has been received and just kind of how well you guys have kind of honed your craft. But man, this is really cool to be able to go out there and do some of this stuff with Buckcherry, some guys I know from way back, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you saying that, Clint. I feel fortunate. I feel like we are lucky that we made a record, that we put a record out when we did, and we've had a chance to do some promotion, and even my little fan base, man, they've really embraced it and they're fired up. So they're familiar with the songs and now they're ready to see it live. No question, man. My friends in Buckcherry, Josh and Stevie especially, man, they love the new record, and they were just, I saw them when they were in Nashville making their record with Marty Fredrickson. And, it's just how it works, I guess, a little bit of time and some opportunities. I'll never forget that day I got the email from our agent. He said, "Hey, do you guys want to go to the UK with Buckcherry?" I was like, fuck, yes. Yes, let's go. Because, man, listen, the UK is extra special to me, Clint. I spent so much time over there from the minute I joined Thin Lizzy in 2011. Really, 2012 was when I played in the UK with them the first time. All of the, we started Black Star Riders, so 13 through 18, man, 5-6 years of solid presence in the United Kingdom, man. I love those fans so much. They've been, it's brought a whole other component, I guess, to my music and to my career. And it was a beautiful day when we were able to announce that tour, just to get the wave of reaction from, specifically the fans in the UK. Because look, Black Star Riders went to all those tiny towns, man.
Yeah.
Bournemouth and Leeds and, not every city over there is London and Manchester and Glasgow. So I can't wait, dude. Can't wait.
Well, I feel like for you, and maybe you'll agree here, but the fact that you've been able to hone in and do these albums like you've done, I thought Memoirs of an Uprising was awesome. I think that's the first time we actually had you on, and you've just, I feel like the Battle Lessons has been kind of a natural progression from that. just talk about yourself as sort of a songwriter that I think doesn't get a lot of as much due as you should, because you've done so much and written with so many great people. Do you feel like that Battle Lessons is sort of the kind of the culmination of your songwriting talents, that like you've done so much leading up to this, and that you were established, and that this album really was sort of the culmination of that for you?
Well, I feel like Battle Lessons was just so easy. Yeah, I've never had more fun writing a record. A lot of credit to my main collaborator, Jim Troglin. We're old friends from back in the Alabama days, back before Brother Kane started, is when we first met. So, we've got a real easy way about working together, but he comes loaded, man. He's just, and the thing about writing with Jim that's so fun, Clint, is that there's no set pattern. It's not like, okay, he shows up with music and I write the lyrics. It's just all over the place. And he is so not precious about the ideas he brings. Never once has he come to me and said, hey man, I got this idea. Don't change the verse, the verse lyrics, because I really love them. He would never say that. So I feel like I kind of had this open canvas to, bring whatever I feel like the song needs. Because look, man, at the end of the day, I got to sing it. I got to believe it. I got to make it believable and authentic to the listener. I didn't always look at it that way, man. The Brother Kane experience was incredible. It never would have happened, man, without some of my collaborators, especially Marty Fredrickson. I was so lucky to meet Marty when I did, and he taught me a lot about songwriting. And I did my part, and I did a really great job, and certainly contributed in tremendous ways to those songs. But it was hard work, Clint. I would get in my head a lot. I would kind of dread, like, oh shit, we got to make another. I got to make another record. This is going to be tough. I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way anymore, man. Songwriting is a joy. It's a game. It's like a puzzle. And no surprise to you, man. Well, I've already started writing some new stuff. Because I made a pretty bold statement when I left Black Star Riders in 2018, and that was that I wanted to put out a new record every 18 months, no more than 24 months ever, at the longest. So, we're going to be so busy pretty soon, being back on the road. So I just think it's in the best interest of the band for me to start having some material kind of stockpiled and, just moving and shaking and seeing what we can come up with.
Well, as I've been kind of perusing some reviews from the album, and I reviewed it myself several months ago, and just kind of revisiting that and revisiting what people have said, I hadn't really thought about it this way, but one stood out to me on Amazon, and it said, if you like UFO, this should make you happy. And I hadn't really thought about much of a Schenker influence here. Are you a Schenker guy? Like, did I miss something here? I don't know. I don't hear a lot of UFO. I love Michael Schenker, one of my favorite guitarists of all time. But is there some Schenker in there that I'm missing?
It's funny. Two things. One is we toured with UFO in February of 2020, Clint, right before the pandemic hit.
Right.
So a lot of their fans did get to see us. I was more familiar, honestly, with Michael Schenker's solo material than I was even UFO. Just the circle of friends that I ran in, I had to learn about UFO later. And so the Michael Schenker group, we had a couple of those records, and then I went back into UFO and got it. But, by that time, man, I was so steeped in so many other bands. I had this conversation with my friend Richie Faulkner, because Schenker is his number one guy. And for me, the Thin Lizzy guys were like my number one guys: Brian Robertson, Scott Gorham, Gary Moore. So I had plenty, you know what I mean? There was a lot for me to be, learning from and grabbing. But that's cool that somebody reviewed it like that. And to me, all that means is it's, this is new classic rock influenced music. It's new music, because people say, hey, man, how would you describe your sound? It's classic rock done the modern way. You know, we're not reinventing the wheel. I'm not trying to compete with, you know, Taylor Swift or Fall Out Boy or anybody, man. Look, I've been around a long time, Clint, and I like what I like. Someone asked me recently, well, like, what music are you listening to a lot these days? And I said, I'm listening to Battle Lessons all the time, you know, because it's like, I'm honestly, man, I wrote these songs for myself. I wrote them for myself. I wanted to make a record that I wanted to hear, that I enjoy. And, you know, so if I'm going on a long drive with my family, like I did last week, you know, they're all asleep in the Suburban and I'm driving and I got my headphones on. So I'm listening to Clutch. I'm listening to ZZ Top. I'm listening to old AC/DC. I'm listening to Jack White. And I'll listen to my own music and I'll be like, hell yeah,
That's
man.
badass.
This all works together.
I love the album. I can't put it over enough for our listeners. And, you know, we talked a lot about it at the onset. I'm glad we're having this opportunity to kind of follow up here. So I want everyone to go to damonjonson.com. That's where you can get all the information on the album and certainly the tour dates. But Damon, for you, I've always, you know, I don't know if you've seen the documentary Hired Gun. It came out a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I am, for some reason, I thought about you when I watched it the last time, because there's it highlights a lot of players that have been, you know, played with major acts and have sort of just, you know, taken the paycheck, and they've done this for 20 plus years. And they talked about, you know, Billy Joel's drummer that did it for 40 years, then got fired and things like that. And I thought about you from, you know, Brother Kane to Alice Cooper, which I want to get into that because I saw Alice Cooper more times during your era than I did any other time. And then on to Thin Lizzy, Black Star Riders. Talk about the level of gratification that you feel now doing your own thing versus what it was like kind of in those high profile bands. Is it a different feeling? Is it better? Are you more, you know, just more gratified by what you do now?
Yeah, great question, man. You know, when I first joined Alice Cooper in 2004, you know, the Brother Kane experience was still fresh on my mind. Look, man, Brother Kane was amazing. It was an amazing band. We had great songs. We wrote great records. The unfortunate other reality is that we couldn't sell tickets. We weren't able to like build our thing up to where we could click up to that next level. You know, we just couldn't sustain doing it anymore. And there was so much turnover at our record label. And we were so dependent on rock radio airplay and all of that. So I made the mistake of kind of taking it on my shoulders, like, fuck, if I'd have done a better job, you know, the band would have lasted. And so I kind of came into Alice Cooper a little wounded, for lack of a better word. And, you know, immediately Alice was like, wow, where are you from? Like, how did I get so lucky to get a guy that plays like you and can sing backups like you? And brother, it just turbocharged everything in me, my confidence, my attitude. And I very quickly I felt like, man, the universe had gifted me something. Like, listen, man, don't lose sight that everything you've done up to this point is just experience. You learn from that, you take it into the next thing. And that's what I did. So I really give Coop a ton of credit, Clint, for really setting the foundation for everything that I did after that. Because think about it, man. After Alice Cooper, I got the Stevie Nicks cut. I had a Santana cut. I did Slave to the System, Joy Thin Lizzy, Black Star Riders. I mean, come on. I could have never have even written a script of like an amazing, you know, set of experiences like that. And they all happened totally because of Alice Cooper. So I really owe Coop a debt of gratitude, man. I love that guy. You know, really, really appreciate his just his wisdom and you know, the legend that he is, man. I was really lucky to spend that time with him.
I from what I hear, we haven't talked about this before, but maybe your biggest debt of gratitude to Alice is your golf game, because I heard, man, I heard that you are maybe, and you know, we've had Ryan Roxy on quite a bit. We've talked with Carrie Kelly and, you know, Eric Singer. I think I heard that you might be the best Alice Cooper band member at golf. Is this?
No, listen, I do have the distinction of being the guy that joined his band that already played a little bit. I'd been playing 6 or 7 years, and I certainly showed up and looked like a golfer. I looked like I knew what I was doing, when I would get over the ball. But listen, man, it took me a while. No question that all those years with Coop made me a better golfer. And I love it, dude. I love golf. It's a passion. It's something I'll do the rest of my life. It's something I do with my sons. My dad is 83. He still plays. Wow. So it's, I'm just really, it's really an important part of my life. So, I don't know, man. I've been playing with Chuck Garrick some this year.
Yeah.
Chuck is hitting it, man. He's really hitting the ball better than ever. So, but when I play with any of those guys, it's just always a hang. It's, rarely does anybody is trying to stick it to the other, with any scoring or stuff like that. And that's the other great thing about Coop Clint. He was always patient with us. He would take us to some fancy, golf club in the middle of Boston, and we're just spraying the ball all over the place. And Coop didn't care. He would just like, oh man, hit another one. Here's another ball. Hit another one. So good times, man. Good times.
Oh, Damon, you're the best, man. Before we let you go, brother, we got to hit you with our final 4 drum roll, which is 4 quick questions, fun ones, and you just give us what comes to mind, and we'll get on out of here, brother.
Lay it on me, man.
Okay. What is the last concert you remember attending as a fan before craziness went down?
I went to a fundraiser in downtown Nashville for the victims of the recent tornado we had right before the pandemic. And it was incredible, Clint. Jason Isbell, Brandi Carlile, Sheryl Crow. What a night. Wow. So grateful that we were able to get tickets and go to see that show. It was very special. And this was the week before the shutdown. I mean, it literally was right before everything got nuts. So great show.
That's crazy. I was on my way to see Kiss in Tulsa on March 12th. And that's when, like, on my way there, they're like, stuff shutting down, everything's canceled. It was like almost like tangibly you could feel like, oh my gosh, something's really up here. So I would say Kiss was my last one, but it wasn't because I didn't make it.
Didn't
make it all the way. So what is maybe, I know you've obviously been busy recording Battle Lessons, which is tremendous, but did you have any show or shows, streaming or anything that you're able to like catch up on and like binge watch over the last year or so because of
a lot. My wife sat with me and rewatched Game of Thrones. I watched the whole thing. Incredible. And a lot of times, man, I'll just sit with her and whatever she's watching. We've watched all of Curb Your Enthusiasm. She's into some of those, anything British related, especially about the monarchy. So we watched The Crown, great acting in that. Right at the beginning of the pandemic, we were watching stuff like Ozark and Fargo. Those shows are great. I wish I'd have taken notes, man, because there's so much content. There's so much content for songs, just characters and
That's true.
So I'll have to revisit some of that Ozark, man, because there's some amazing characters in that.
Well, I live about an hour and a half from the Lake of the Ozarks. So, I mean, it's a place near and dear to my heart. I grew up going there. And in a case of life imitating art, REO Speedwagon is actually playing there this summer like they did on the show. Not kidding.
That's so great. So great.
Okay, so the latest single that you guys released, which was about a month ago, was Talk Yourself Into Anything. But do you have a song? I'm not going to ask you for your favorite song off the album Battle Lessons. That's tough to do. It's your baby, man. But is there a song on there? And maybe it's the latest single, Talk Yourself Into Anything, because I think it would be a great live tune. Is there one that you're excited about unveiling on the road this summer? And
yeah, fall? Man. Yeah, for sure. I do love all those songs. They are all my babies. And I've never had a record that I love all the songs as much now as I did when I put the record out, 6 months ago. But track number 4 is Shadow Country.
Ooh,
it's one of the most unique arrangements I've ever been lucky enough to come up with. It's such a great feeling when I finished writing it. I couldn't wait to play my producer, Nick Raskulinix, the demo. I couldn't wait to play the band, the demo. It's got that big tempo shift in the middle, and it goes into one of the best riffs I've ever come up with, man.
Awesome.
And I've already been kind of getting some reaction on that. Even the couple shows that we've done already, you know, the fans, you can hear them shouting out. They want to hear Shadow Country. So for sure, that one.
There it is. Last one. What is the first album that you remember buying with your own money or stealing? Either way.
Yeah, man. I bought my first 45, which was The Joker by the Steve Miller Band.
Hell
and
yeah.
That same week I bought Destroyer by Kiss. You know, I was 13 years old. It's crazy to think, man, those songs were brand new at that time. So I'm definitely dating myself there, but you know, those moments are etched into my DNA. You know, those were seismic events for me, getting those 2 records.
Well, we all know what a fan of Kiss Destroyer I am. I got to call an audible here because I got to throw in a final 5th question, because I am a huge fan. You may not agree, but we're going to see where we would go with this. Of 80s Kiss. I love When the Makeup Came Off. I loved Lick It Up. I loved Animalize. I like Asylum. I even like Crazy Nights, Damon. Do you have a favorite non-makeup Kiss album? You don't?
I do not.
Come on, Revenge? Not
Listen,
even Revenge.
Clint, no, listen, Clint, there are moments, okay? There are moments. You know, by the time those 80s Kiss records were coming out, you got to understand something, brother. I was already going down my own path of writing songs. I kind of got off the Kiss train right after Dynasty.
Makes sense.
You know, listen, man, Destroyer, note for note, song for song, sound for sound, Destroyer is right up there, man, on any, you know, come on, man. We've had all these, everybody's got debates and lists and top 10 and top 50, whatever, man. I put Destroyer up against anything in my record collection. And yeah, it means something to me because I was a kid and, you know, it just brings back all these great memories. But fucking hell, man, those guitar sounds, those drum sounds, Paul Stanley, King of the Nighttime World, shut up, dude. I listen to that when I'm going for my runs, and it just turbocharges my cardiovascular workout to this day, man. That's the shit right there.
Damon, you are the best, man. Can't wait to do it again. I can't wait to see you out there, somewhere out there in the stratosphere in a live setting. We're going to make it happen, brother. Stay safe and stay healthy, my friend, and best of luck going forward, brother.
Clint, thank you, man. Appreciate your time. Thanks for talking up the record, and I hope I see you soon, man.
Always. Thank you.